Welcome back to What Arty Noobs with General Disturbance. This is a Rheinmetall Skorpion G. It's the German Tier 8 premium tank destroyer, and it's located on the south spawn of Murovanka. And the name of the commander is General Anonymous. And he's a member of What Arty Noobs. He's got 1 mark of excellence on his barrel, and the game is about to start. Well, what can I say about the Skorpion G? Well, it's built on the chassis of a Panther tank, which were in very short supply when they were first designed in 1943. Now, when the Germans first designed it, they actually considered it to be a self-propelled gun, and that's why they gave the gun the designation 128cm Kanonen 43L55, and Kanonen was the identification given to self-propelled guns mounted on chassis. So they had such a shortage of Panther tanks, they couldn't afford to spend any on designing and building the Skorpion, so it only actually existed in blueprints. They didn't actually build one. As you can clearly see, that's a Panther chassis with a 128mm gun on top, and he's looking for a target in the Magic Forest. He's moved on to a nice position there near the water. There's a couple of targets up ahead, a VK3002M and a 45TP. He's looking at both of them, but at the moment he can't get a shot because there's ridgelines in the way, and they're below the ridgeline. So he's going to have to wait until they come into view. Now this gun has got a massive 246mm penetration, 490 alpha. So if you get hit by this gun, you're really going to feel it. Moving forward into a position where he might be able to get a shot on the 45 TP. Just trying to find a position that doesn't mean he gets hit in return. There's a 416. Well, he receives a shot from the Jagdpanther for 293, but he does 541 hit points of damage to the 416. That's a very high roll. Now going after this SP1C. One shot in for 464, and the SP1C is taken up by the FP4202. Right, he's reloaded, got a 10.98 second or 11 second reload, so it's quite a long reload, and the shell's quite slow. Took a big hit there for the 40TP, 257, but he's wiped out the object 416 for 394. There's the Jagdpanther that hit him earlier. He's pulling back below the ridgeline, so we can't get a shot there. Might be able to get a shot in the 45 TP. I'm sure he doesn't want to risk getting shot by the Jagdpanther though, that's the problem. Now the armour on the Panther is actually quite weak in comparison to some of the shells that's been fired at. He just suffered a splash hit from the enemy M44 for 36 hit points. Now we've got another pinger, and one of those players who thinks that they can ping all the map and then just cause general nuisance to everyone else. And they generally do it because they've been normally knocked out of the game and they're just spoiling for to spoil everybody else's game. But the FP4202 actually has got 2 kills and is doing quite well at the moment, but he seems he has to interrupt everybody else's game in the process of spamming the map. Okay, he's got a Tiger 1. Slide on, fires around it. 562, that's a high roll. He's actually using APCR at the moment. That's got a penetration of 311 hit points. Still got the same alpha though, 490. Okay, there's the 40 TP, but he's below the ridgeline, so we can't hit him. He's going to try to move up, trying to spot the Tiger 1, the Jagdpanther and the 40 TP. Trouble is, he's been hit by all except the Tiger 1 have actually got a shot into him. He doesn't really want to expose himself. There's a Assault. And he could have fired an HE round at that because it's got very weak side armour. The Nashorn is very similar to the Hummel, the Tier 6 German SPG. but instead he fired an APCR round, and that's a bit wasteful. That's going to cost him on credits. You need to be careful about which round you use for which vehicle. I suppose it was just that the opportunity came around and he took it rather than wait until he reloaded. Sometimes you do have to make that decision. You might have to fire a round that's expensive, but he still loaded APCR in anticipation of seeing a Tiger or the Jagdpanther or the 40 TP. He might consider using standard AP rounds, because there's not much difference in penetration. It's 246, so you could easily get through the hull on most of those enemies with standard AP. Those enemies have just dropped off the face of the earth. They're definitely there, but just nobody's spotting them. The AMX has gone further forward than anyone else. He's almost at the back of the map. He's by the water, so it looks like he's going to come up the very back of the map, and I think that's probably where the Jagdpanther and the Tiger and the others have gone. Yes, it is. They are at the back. There's the Jagdpanther, and he just took out our 1357. He must have seen him coming and thought, I'll have that. There's the Tiger. He's been spotted. But again, he's over a ridgeline, so we've got no shots. Moving forward. There's the 40 TP. The Tiger's taken out. Not by us, though, and we were seen when we fired. And there's the 40 TP as well. So he's reversing back to try and get out of the field of fire of those tanks behind a ridgeline. And he's pulling forward now. They've got a 2-tank advantage in the game. Can't get a shot on the 40 TP over to the west. It's only a 1-tank advantage. The AMX 12 times going forward just to try and find the 40 TP and the Jagdpanther. Well, there's the Jagdpanther. He's been spotted.
Permission to engage.
We're auto-aiming at him, but there's a ridgeline in the way. The 40 TP is down to 5 hit points. HE rounds would be useful at this point. Oh, and the 40 TP goes down to the M44. So he's pushing ahead, going over the ridgeline. He is going to get shot at by the Jagdpanther, but 1 round's enough to do the trick. 59 hit points, but he's reloading another APCR round. Again, he doesn't need to. The enemy that's remaining is another Skorpion G and 2 Arty. You could do with just standard HG at the moment. It's going to cost him a fortune. Okay, the Skorpion G at the far side comes up, pops back down again. He's behind the ridgeline at the moment. Oh, that's a kill. That's a friendly kill by the FV4202, who's now gone blue as a result, and I think he's been banned. So he is a bad player. He not only pings the map, but he actually team kills, and that's not very helpful, because that means the scores are now equal, because there's 1 banned player on our team, 1 tank destroyer, which is our Skorpion, and 2 Arty, and the enemy have got 1 tank destroyer and a Skorpion and 2 Arty. And there's the M44. Oh, we got the kill in before he could shoot. The Skorpion bounced off our tracks, and that was our own Arty stunning us. Now, the other Arty is probably in one of those bunches of trees up ahead. Question is, which one? Is he to the right or to the left? I think he'll be to the left. Well, that's the Skorpion. We just got a massive hit, and unfortunately we missed the return shot, but hopefully our Arty will be able to do something about that Skorpion, take some of his health away. They haven't done so yet. They should be doing it. Yep, they have now. 554 hit points of damage. And the other round was from the enemy Arty. Now, I think he's in that set of bushes over there. I think he's to the left, not to the right. Right, well, he's only got 1 round of APCR left. He doesn't need APCR, he only needs HE. There's the Skorpion. And 1 round in. It's not enough to kill him. If he fired HE, it would have killed the Skorpion with 1 shot. And so he has to ram kill the Skorpion. He takes some damage in the process, 86 hit points, but now he needs to find the remaining Arty. And he must be in the set of bushes up ahead there. So it was to the right that the M44 was located, or was it? Well, no, it's not, because he's not there. So where did he go? Well, he's loading HE now. He's got it right. I don't mean to labour this, but you need to use the right round of ammunition for the right target. And it's something that I've been definitely trying to instill in myself. I have difficulty picking the right round for the right moment, but definitely you need to fire HE at soft-skinned vehicles so you get a much better effect when you hit them with HE, because it will virtually rip away all of their hit points in one shot. Now it appears that General Anonymous has actually got the high caliber. He's asking for help, but he's certainly not going to get any help from the FV4202 because he is now banned. So it's really from the Arty that he's going to have to get some help, and so they're going to have to move forward. He asks, do they understand help me? Well, I think they do. I'm pretty sure they do, but normally an Arty wouldn't be expected to go out hunting another Arty face to face. And it may be that they're a bit confused as to why he wants them to hunt for him. There's the M44, he's been spotted.
Target acquired.
And he spotted him himself. He's over there in the corner. The M44 is trying to get away. There we go. And he's gone. 280 hit points, one shot kill. And that's the end of the game. Let's have a look at the end of battle stats, and it's a first class tanker for General Anonymous in the Rheinmetall Skorpion G. He also picked up a Hand of God for surviving the battle, having received damage from 4 different enemy vehicles, a Bruiser medal for getting at least 5 critical hits, he got 9, a Duelist medal for taking down 2 tanks that did damage to him during the battle, a Fighter badge for getting at least 4 kills, he managed to get 5 in the end, and a Fire for effect for doing more damage than the hit points for his own vehicle. He also picked up a Pascucci's medal for taking down 2 of the enemy Arty. He took down both of the enemy M44s, and he also picked up a high caliber for dealing the most damage in the battle overall. So let's have a look at team scores, see where he stood. Well, there you go. Highest damage, 3,605 hit points. The highest score on the enemy team was the Skorpion. On their team, it was 3,098 hit points. And when it came to kills, it was the Skorpion again, who managed to get the highest amount. General Anonymous picked up 5 kills. The highest score on the enemy team was their Skorpion. He also picked up 2 kills, and the M44 as well as the 40TP. The M44 managed 2 kills on General Anonymous's side, and of course that FV4202, who got banned in the end, he only got 1 kill and 1,842 hit points of damage. When it came to base XP, it was the Skorpion of General Anonymous picked up the highest amount, 1,273. Then came the FV4202 with 732, then the M44 with 676. So if we look at detail report, well, General Anonymous fired 11 rounds during that battle. He got 9 direct hits, 9 penetrations, damage of 3,605 hit points, of which 458 were at more than 300 meters. He received 4 hits from the enemy. 3 of them were penetrations, 1 was a non-penetration. He was quite lucky, that 1 non-penetration. And 1 hit result of splash damage as well. And that was from the, I think, from one of his own Arty, actually, who managed to accidentally hit him at the time that he discovered the enemy M44, and just after he killed the enemy M44. He spotted 2 of the enemy, the Arty. He damaged 8 of the enemy, killed 5 of them, and he did damage assistance of 1,037 hit points. On a standard account, he earned 74,232 credits. On a premium account, he would have earned 111,000 credits for that battle. And after repair, ammunition resupply, and consumables, he took away 14,919. And this is where it really cost him, because he was firing an awful lot of APCR, and he really needed to be firing standard AP or even just HE shells, because the HE shells on some of the latter targets, the Skorpion and the Arty, Arty would have been just as devastating, and in fact he would have killed the Skorpion with just one shot, and his repair costs wouldn't have been so high because he wouldn't have needed to ram that Skorpion to kill him. So yep, he would have ended up with more credits profit if he selected the right shell. He received 1273 XP times another 127 XP because this is a premium vehicle, so he took away 1400 experience points altogether. So a nice little round for the Skorpion G. Pascucci's high caliber, but I would take away from this battle, you need to select the right round for the right target, and a lot of the time he was selecting ammunition for some of the tough tanks that were in the forest, and those tough tanks really didn't need the APCR. He probably could have got away with just standard AP, but I'm sure he'll remember that next time he takes the Skorpion out. Just fire the standard ammo and you'll probably get through the armor. If you don't get through the armor, then of course you can either select APCR or HE, and in fact my preference is for HE because I know from experience that HE rounds can do a huge amount of damage, and sometimes it's worth carrying just HE in your heavy tank just to see what it can do to the enemy. So if you enjoyed this replay, please give it a like and do subscribe to our channel, and hopefully it'll be your replay that I'll be featuring in the next video.